All right, speaking of new systems, I had an idea for a topic I think is going to be pretty fun. We're going to get to it after a reminder that today's episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is sponsored by Yahoo Fantasy. Yahoo Fantasy football is back. You can fire up the group chats, get your draft boards ready, and buckle up for a season filled with breakouts, busts, and all the overreactions we live for. It's all going down on Yahoo Fantasy this year. UCSS is moving back to the Yahoo Fantasy platform, and you guys should too, whether you're a first-timer or a veteran making your millionth league. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to win. It all begins on August 4th. Stay tuned and get started by creating or joining a Yahoo Fantasy League at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That is yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL, and let's make this fantasy season the best one yet. So I appreciate all three of you guys for sending me your answers last night. I think that's the first time that I have gotten all answers immediately when I sent out the text. So shout out to you three. Kudos to you.
It wasn't immediate, but I did get back to you.
No, within 2 hours, that is considered immediate in this realm.
I looked over it, and I was like, oh, there's some people online.
So thank you for that. The question I had sent you guys, I was talking to a buddy in the gym yesterday, and he asked me this question. So shout out to Dylan. Dylan asked me, McNuggets, if you could add any non-quarterback's the key here, to the Cleveland Browns roster right now to help them make the playoffs in 2025, who would be the best player you would add to put the Browns in that playoff contention? We got three different answers. And, Dustin, I want to go with you last because your answer was the most surprising. Jason, we'll start with you. Then we'll go to G. Bush.
That's wild.
And then Dustin's going to drop the hammer with the surprise pick of the century.
I'm anxious to see who that is now.
I fired off quick to you, too. I mean, that was a quick response. When I read your text, I was like, bam.
Well, stick around about 5 minutes. Dustin's going to drop the mic on you guys
baby.
here.
That's a tease.
But, Jason, you're up first. Who was your pick? Which non-quarterback would you add to the Browns to make them a playoff team in 2025?
Justin Tucker, was that you? No? All right.
He thinking right. Look,
I got my
he's
wheels spinning now. I went with Jamar Chase for a couple reasons. Number one, obviously dynamic playmaker on the offensive side. Triple Crown winner last year. Exactly what this offense needs is just someone who can scare defenses. And Jerry Jeudy had a great run last year with Jameis Winston as a starting quarterback. I don't think anyone would dispute, though, that Jamar Chase is significantly better and a premier talent in this league. Browns haven't had a playmaking wide receiver at a consistent level in how many years? Oh, yeah, forever.
Yeah, never.
When a tight end from the 70s is your all-time leading pass catcher, it kind of tells you where you're at with receivers in a pass-happy NFL. And also, an added bonus to this is it weakens a division rival. So not only are you adding Jamar Chase to the Browns, but you would pluck him off a Bengals team that's already, as we talked earlier, a little bit in disarray right now. Obviously, it would never happen, but that type of dynamic threat on the outside, I think, is exactly what this offense needs. The defense can hold its own. We were talking about that earlier if everyone's healthy. But I just don't know how they're going to score enough points to win games this year. And Jamar Chase could make any quarterback look significantly better.
I can't be mad at that. Jamar Chase is a very, very good pick. I went off the beaten trail. I stole this from the show we was on a couple of weeks ago. I said, "Yo, let me get Micah Parsons." Like, what I'm gonna do is this: just be selfish as a big guy myself, as a defensive lineman. Just to get selfish with this, I'm looking at it like this: you got Myles Garrett, you got Micah Parsons. I got Denzel Ward. I don't know what you're going to do with that. If they can stop anybody on first and second down with the run, good luck getting the ball off. It would put you in a position where now you probably could, if you can get some other of these rookies to show up and have a nice rotation of what you got behind them, especially with the defensive line. If that's the strength of the team right now, that puts you in a position where you literally could play the Ravens ball. I mean, I don't know if that'll win you a championship, but I've seen teams get to a place where Jimmy Garoppolo was in the Super Bowl. I done seen Brock Purdy get to a Super Bowl. I'm like, listen, I don't know what Joe got left, but we can combine them quarterbacks and try to make a Power Ranger out of them or something, Voltron. We could combine the powers if we got these two dudes. I'm gonna go with Micah Parsons. If you give me that, I think the Browns could easily make the playoffs. Now, I don't know about no Super Bowl, but I think they make the playoffs.
Dustin,
all right, wait.
Yours, my friend.
I want to see the question again because I don't remember what the question was.
It's on the screen.
Which non-quarterback would you want to add to the Browns?
Now we're guessing his,
give
right?
them the best
I'm guessing
chance
his now.
to make them a playoff
Is
team.
it a coach? Go ahead.
Is not a coach.
Oh,
Not
okay.
a coach.
Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith. You put Jeremiah Smith on this team, they instantly have arguably one of the best receivers in the league. I mean, the kid's 19. He can't come to the NFL yet, but if he were on this team, I think it would give defenses nightmares. This is the highest rated wide receiver to ever come out of high school. And what he did last year as a freshman was unbelievable. 15 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Just ridiculous. They couldn't guard him. And whenever they needed a big play, they threw the football to this guy. And you're going to see it next Saturday against Texas and all the way through the rest of the season. And this is no bias for me. It's just I think this kid is going to be so special in the league. And he's a great kid. And he's got a great head on his shoulders. And he's smart. And he's a freaking ridiculous athlete. And the Browns don't have a weapon like this on offense. You said Jamar Chase, and that's a great one too. I mean, we're both on the same vein.
Yeah,
I'm going with the younger kid. You're going with somebody who's established in this league. This guy will be the top receiver in the NFL in 2 years.
So you already saying that he's better than Marvin Harrison?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
And I can't even argue. And that's what's so wild.
Because we just said that, right? We just said Marvin, and then now.
I remember when Garrett Wilson was there, I was like, man, he's really nice. And then here comes Marv. And I was like, I never see like I covered Ohio State for 10 years. I never covered a receiver like that. And now, like, they just keep finding these dudes and raising the bar. I'm not saying Garrett Wilson was in that all-time great category. He's pretty good. And then you see Marv on top of him, and then Jeremiah Smith on top of that.
Yeah, because they had Olave, and it was like, oh, Olave's a nice player.
McLaurin's decent too, huh?
JSN.
Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, Terry McLaurin is pretty good, man. And then they was like, no, those were all cool.
Did you see the video of over the weekend of his autograph signing?
Yes. Absurd.
Totally. I mean, thousands, plural, thousands of people waiting for his autograph at a store.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
And good for him that he can make money now because
you guys used to have to wait till after the bowl game for that.
And he can't be in the league yet because of the stupid rule. But I mean, he's making 4.2 in NIL per year, roughly. I don't want to get off track.
No, we get off track because we got Guardians next, and it's not big until we have Quincy. So we got a few minutes. I want to bring it back, but we can get off track to bring it back.
I am shocked that the NFL has been able to keep these guys out for 3 years. Like,
agreed.
I thought Maurice would win, and he did temporarily.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing that they have not been able to topple this. You should be able to go in the NFL anytime you want. Why can't you?
Because they like their free minor league system.
It's unbelievable.
Because it weeds a lot of different things out. Think about it like this. Quinshon Judkins had nothing on him, right? No one heard anything about Quinshon Judkins unless you know something.
I think that there may have been more from his SEC days than we ever
that we looked into.
Yeah, okay. I won't go any farther than that, but I think that there was some stuff from his time in the SEC that was out there to be had. So, but continue.
But when you got these kids and young men, you put them in this little system and you weed them out. I get to watch you for 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? I get to see maybe you.
Well, now you get to find out even more about a kid because he's going to have some cash in his pocket.
He's got money in his pocket. He could be injury prone. He could not have good work ethic. He could get in trouble. So now, and then here's the thing: if they do, I get a massive discount. Because I'm gonna tax you for what you was doing before, and you ain't gonna get all that money. So I'm like, it basically it keeps wages down. Because think about it: if you are 19 and they get into the league, At what point in time do you want? They're going to still be their contracts are up after a certain period of time, right? They get 5 years of control. Now, if you get in the league and you're 18, now you're 23, out of control.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now you can go to other places. Now you get in the league and you're 24 or 25 or whatever the case is. You're almost out of your prime by the time you get to the big money.
MLB, you can go right from high school into the draft. They could sign you at 16 in baseball. NBA, it's 1 year. There was a while where it was none. I think we'll go back to none at some point here, probably sooner than later. NFL, the thing that pisses me off about the NFL, where they're so hypocritical, anytime they want to hide behind something, they hide behind a safety issue. It's a safety issue.
Yeah.
They're trying to get rid of the tush push because it's a safety issue. No, it's because you can't stop it.
Yeah.
That's why you're trying to get rid of
Right.
it. And they're hiding behind this NCAA thing as a safety issue because they're not ready to be physically mature. That's crap. Kids today are bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been before at 19, 20, 21 years old. There's no, it's free will. It's a right to work issue. You should be allowed if you want to go straight from high school to the NFL, that's your prerogative. And if they don't draft you, well, then I guess you made a mistake.
Right. By albeit.
But that's on you to make that decision. I just can't believe that with all the advancements we've made in all these different areas, that the NFL has still been able to hide this game of you have to be 3 years removed from your high school class to play in the NFL. It's absurd.
I mean, they do. You know what I learned? These folks do exactly what they want. When it's 32 of them. They the most powerful group of people in the world. They can move a certain way that nobody else can move that way. They just can do it. Hey, if I could go sign up and go to a war when I'm 18.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
play
like
in the NFL.
I could
if you can carry a gun and go to Iraq, go to the Middle East.
If you go to the Middle East, I feel like I could catch a football for the Cleveland Browns. I think I should be okay.
The NFL will always hide behind it's a safety. When it's something they don't like, something they don't want, it's a safety.
Listen, we got to protect that shield. McNuggets.
But they won't give them full guaranteed contracts.
Oh no. That's the safety. And that health insurance is done too. The health insurance, we won't get you. Look, Dustin,
Man,
it's
don't
okay.
get me started, brother.
It's okay.
Don't get me started, brother.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
So, G. Bush, I put in the chat, I put a poll in the chat with your three options to which non-quarterback would you think give the Browns the best chance to make the playoffs if they were to be added to the roster. And this is one of the closest polls we've ever had. All three answers got legitimate traction. In third place, with 30% of the vote, third place, Micah Parsons. In second place with 32% of the vote, Jamar Chase. With 38% of the vote, Jeremiah Smith.
The Buckeyes,
Dustin's wild card.
The Buckeyes are alive and well in the chat. They are. By the way, if he decide, I think Merce Claret was talking about it. If he decided to just be like, "Hey guys,"
He can sit out.
"Hey guys, I'm gonna chill out." I mean,
Yeah, but you don't make any money doing that.
but he's getting bread right now. He might as well just
Claret wanted to do that. Cool, fine.
But
because you're going to go to the league and then you'll get your money eventually. But now,
it doesn't make sense.
dude, Jeremiah Smith's making almost $5 million this year,
and
that's more than he would make in the NFL.
Yeah, so I think
as a rookie,
the NIL stuff. I think Jason. I think the league is like, hey, listen, we like our amateurism, but cut these checks down there. No one's gonna buck the system if they're making that much money.
I do think there will be. We are so early into this still. I do think that there will be a course correction. Like Tyvus is the one to talk about this. He obviously lived that world. I don't know that they're going to keep. How are these people getting a return on their money?
I always ask, what is the return on investment as a company now this is name, image, likeness, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand how name, image, likeness just ends up you getting a check at the end of the week from a collective
we
group of
need
people.
Tyvus on this conversation.
Because I don't. If I'm a business,
I don't understand it.
If I'm UCSS and I'm a business, and I want you to promote my show and I want you to do promos, I'm gonna just give you I
guess if you're a rich booster and you want to see your team do well, you cut them a check for $1 million or $2 million.
You don't care about
But
That's what Texas Tech did.
But if you're a business, though, if you are a business entity and you are giving half of your marketing dollars to a college kid, to promote something, I don't understand how you get your return on investment.
When they win a national title and you get to go to the parade, or you get to go to the celebration. That's why I think that there will be a correction and the prices are going to come down. But to Mike's point, what Mike just said, I remember telling you I thought Urban Meyer should look at A&M. Or like A&M and Texas Tech with all that oil money down there, how are they not spending $50 million a year in NIL? And how long until one of them
Texas Tech did it this summer. My buddy Shehan Jararaja, who works for CBS Sports, wrote an entire article on how Texas Tech has there's one oil billionaire that wanted to see Texas Tech football get back into the swing of things.
That's exactly what I'm. Yeah.
And they had the top portal class in the country this summer, Jason. They signed 16 guys, and Shehan didn't have the exact number, but he said he believed 13 got over 7 figures. They signed the top portal prospects. They just signed the number 1 offensive tackle in Texas in the next year's class, and the number 1 overall junior in the country just committed. And this one guy, I'll get his name for you in a sec. I recommend reading Shehan's article, even if he wasn't my buddy. It was a great article. How this one Texas Tech alum mega billionaire is literally self-funding their entire NIL situation.
It just felt like only a matter of time before. Like we've seen
some salary cap at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, we've seen teams.
His name's Cody Campbell, by the way.
Cody Kessler came in some oil money.
But we've seen teams emerge over the last 10 years that were never football powers before. So I think it's only a matter of time before Texas Tech or Texas A&M or one of these oil teams becomes a player in college football.
Like Boone Pickens, like from Oklahoma State. Like he was one of the first people they was like, yeah, we're going to redo the stadium. And he's like, yeah, I just wanted to I wanted to give these cats this money because I'm tired of seeing Oklahoma win. Yeah. I said, oh, this is wild. Like I think the reason why.
You ever been to Stillwater?
No, I haven't.
That Joker's name's on everything.
That's crazy.
He done bought the whole
everything.
I think the problem why these guys don't get
on
good,
every other road, man. It's like that guy has got some cash.
I think
is he dead now? Or is he still alive?
I think he was old when he was doing it.
I think he passed away.
Okay.
I'll double check.
There is the reason why some of those teams still don't win is because we just talked about it for a whole half a show. You can get all the NIL dudes at D-line if you want to. Who's your NIL quarterback? Like, in college football, it's even worse than the pros. Like, if you get a quarterback, you can guarantee yourself to get 9-10 wins just off a quarterback, and you don't even have nothing around him.
You pay him enough, you'll get the top quarterback if you pay him enough.
So Arch Manning's making 6.1 or 6.2 at Texas. And this would probably not ever happen with him specifically because he wants to play Texas and play at a big school and he's a Manning.
He doesn't need the money.
He doesn't need the money. But let's say you had a kid. Let's say Julian Sand. Let's say that the Western Michigan Broncos offered Julian Sand $5 million.
12 mil.
Or whatever. 10 million, $5 million. He ain't making that at Ohio State right now. So let's say they offered him $10 million. Would Western Michigan, they'd win the MAC.
Yes.
They'd be in the playoff.
And the coach is going to get a job somewhere else. And he's like that's how
it is, though.
That's how it is. Like, that is how devastating a quarterback can be. Like, look, Rourke went to Indiana, and they went to the playoffs.
They went to the playoff.
Yep.
And they just got Fernando Mendoza out of Cal, who's a potential first-round pick in the upcoming draft. So, if you have a quarterback, it's what you got to spend the most on, but that is the most important position in the game.